what message does dismantling organizational DEI programs, like for the employee, what message does that send to them? And what are some ways, it's two parts, what are some ways, some concrete ways that anyone in the organization, whether it's a leader who believes dismantling DEI is not the right direction to go, or other employees can raise their concerns to those decision makers and help them understand the possible downside? Like Leilani just shared with us the downside. How do they raise those concerns to decision makers that there is a downside to not having a focus in equity and inclusion?
Thank you. That's a fantastic question. The first thing that comes to mind, the message that it signals to talent, let's talk about that. This is talent, is that you don't want us here. You
Right.
don't value us. And we are in a world, in a market where organizations need people, right? And so if you're anti whatever, anti DEI, anti inclusion, anti, people will choose not to go to you. People will choose not to work for you. And people are noticing, people are paying attention. And, we saw these recent boycotts. We know some people, as an educational organization, we know some people choose schools based on whether or not who I am will be valued and whether people are valued. And so it's going to have a very huge impact, not only on your labor force, but then also on the communities that you serve. And so if you're selling products, if you have a service and you're saying that you don't want diversity, equity, inclusion to be considered in how you operate, that's going to have an impact. Because what happens is that if you don't have the people at the table helping make the decision around these products and services, then it won't be inclusive. Meaning that, if you have, and I have nothing against white men, right? But if there's all white men at the table creating products for women, creating products for Black people, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to serve them in the ways that it would if you had someone from that organization giving the input. And so it's going to affect your bottom line as well. And I think that, you both know, and I'm pretty sure, our listeners, and it's a quick Google search, the number of studies that show that the more diverse your organization, the better the outcomes, right? The higher your profit margin, right? And so these are things that we know. I don't even have to talk about this. This is